Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Stephen Troutman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
And we got a guest in the building. A guest of the building. He's a legendary from the state of VA. You better believe it. So let's show some love to the two-time Super Bowl winner, Dexter Reid.
What's going on?
Yes, sir. And we got plenty of football to talk about, but we're going to also spend some time with Dexter and kind of get to go through his experience because Dexter, he won the Super Bowl. He won two, but he won them in ways that I don't think you know a person that has personally. So with that said, let's get the show started. It's all NFL, baby. We had Thursday Night Football, and we had the Chargers and the Chiefs. I originally picked the Chiefs to win that game. And the Chiefs won 27-24. But what you think about that game, Guru? What you think about the performance?
It was a good game. Kind of went the way I predicted. Chargers stayed inside the number. Chiefs kind of got the win, poured it out late. Couple bad mistakes down the end from the coaching side, if you ask me. You got a player trying to come out the game and a little winded. Instead of calling a timeout to get the tight end, now you let him run a half-ass route.
Right.
The man throw an interception in which the tight end gave no effort.
Zero.
To prevent. And it made Justin Herbert look kind of bad. In a game that I'm not going to say he needed to win, but he should have won.
He should have won. Dexter, you watched that game?
What was crazy about it, I watched probably 90% of the game. Because I ran my man crib, I left probably about 5 minutes with the game to get home. The game was over and a whole bunch of scoring had happened. I'm like, what? So, I kind of had the Chiefs win it too, but that particular play on that interception was kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah, that 99. If my man ain't had a name for him, he got one for him now.
Definitely.
Straight up, they was talking about how he was working in a grocery store.
Nah, working at Wendy's.
Or Wendy's, yeah, he was working somewhere.
4
He was serving
They say he
4
went
for
from
4.
selling 4 for 4s to a pick 6, 99 yards.
Changed his life, boy, that's for sure. Well, listen, hey, if he could keep doing that all year, then he'll get one of those contracts that they've been getting out like water. So, Dexter, what do you think about those contracts? You know, it was a little different back in your day.
It was a lot different. I love to see the guys get their money, man. Like, I love to see the way Lamar doing it, representing himself. Some guys was doing that back when I was playing. So, pay them. You know what I mean? So, 32 owners been eating for a long time. Well, spread the bag. So, I'm all for everybody getting their money, man.
You and me both, 100%.
I seen somewhere where Lamar say he ain't playing none of that franchise tag next year if they try to tag him. He ain't playing.
He don't got no choice.
So he got a choice to play
he does
or
have a
not.
choice.
He got a choice to get paid or not.
Yeah, that too.
That's just the reality. You want to get paid, go play.
I don't really like the whole idea of the franchise tag. Like, if I play out my contract, that should be it.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to franchise tag me
force me
beyond
to
my
stay.
original agreement for your benefit. I don't really like the idea of that's like holding me hostage.
That's
pretty
Exactly
much.
what it is.
when you really think about it, like it's crazy that a team can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like me signing up a contract with my job to work for 3 years, and then when the 3 years come and I can leave or leave the military, I can leave. You telling me, I'm a franchise tag you and force you to stay.
Exactly.
You know?
That's what it is. You forcing me to do something
Yeah, that's,
outside of my original agreement.
I never. But that's what they agreed with, right? The Players Association, they agreed with it and stuck to it. So, what else can you say? All right, so let's talk about some of these Sunday matchups that's going to be taking place. First one is Cleveland and the Jets. I don't know why we're talking about it, but we're going to talk about it because, they still got to play. Somebody got to win, right? Dexter, I'm gonna start with you. In this game, who you got winning overall?
I think Cleveland should pull it out. It shouldn't be close, but they go behind that ground and pound, feed Chubbs, change up the pace, throwing in Hunt with some screens. It shouldn't be within 10 points, if you ask me, but any given Sunday, ain't no telling what coach is going to do. Situational football, turnover game, and Jets might win.
Listen, it sounds like a familiar situation. I mean, the Jets ain't win. That's never familiar, but it sounds familiar because teams lose, including my squad. We lost last week in the game we shouldn't have lost, but weather is weather, and I felt like anybody could win that game. Guru, who you got winning that game between the Browns and the Jets?
Did you just blame the weather on y'all losing the football game?
Bruh, listen, when the weather is like that, anybody can win, man.
So I'm going to ask Dexter this. Have you ever played in a game where it was raining for your team and not for the other team?
Go ahead, man.
Both teams had to play in them elements.
You're 100% right.
He got a young
That's
quarterback.
football.
But we got a young
Both
quarterback.
of them got young quarterbacks.
Right.
They both second-year quarterbacks.
But they second-year quarterback got more experience than our second-year quarterback by far.
So who you blame? Your GM?
Lot more
Who
experience.
you blaming?
Well, I'm
So we got to start holding people accountable now.
well, absolutely, I agree 1,000%. And San Francisco itself is accountable because they're trying to fix something that won't broke it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what you expect? If we don't even make the playoffs this year, it's our own fault. It's straight up. Guru, who you say you got winning that game?
I'm a side with the Browns, to be honest. I mean, they should win.
They should win.
It's a game that they
it's the-
need to win because if you can kind of start off 2-0,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got a couple cupcakes on your schedule early, you can kind of get to a point where Deshaun Watson might walk into a situation and the Browns could very well be over 500.
Yeah, you're right.
So these the games that they definitely got to win. They started the season 1-0, and they won a road game. So I think, like Dex said, they'll rely on the run game,
Mm-hmm.
lean heavily on the defense, put pressure on Joe Flacco. Do some Joe Flacco type things, and they should walk away with it.
I feel like it could go in any direction.
No, absolutely.
But I got to be on the opposite side. I get to the Jets. I get to the Jets because I feel like people don't expect them to win.
They don't expect themselves to win.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's going to be as soon as they get out there, they realize, wait, it's not as difficult as it was originally anticipated. Put forth the effort, or it's going to be a real low-scoring game, and it's going to be minimal effort.
Right.
All I know is somebody going to win that game. Somebody got to win.
They don't have to win as
Right,
Houston.
had a couple ties.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. When you say it out loud, it makes perfect sense at this point. All right, what about the Commanders and the Lions? We in a state where there's a lot of Commanders fans, but the Lions, they got grit, man. They got grit. Dexter, who you got in that game?
We got to pick somebody. My mama just asked me if they going to win this weekend. The Lions are really playing for that coach right now. I
Man,
think it'll be an interesting game. Early, I think the Commanders 1-0 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's at Detroit though. It's on the road.
Yep.
I'm gonna take Detroit by 3.
it's not a bad pick. I mean, when you really think about it, Detroit deserve to win. I mean, they deserve a win. God damn. Just give them a playoff spot.
I feel like that bat might do something magical this game. They need to
DeAndre
feed
Swift.
him, yeah, a couple.
He kind
different
of banged
ways.
up.
Yeah, but is he really banged up? Or
He said he gonna play. So
What?
if you say you're gonna play, that means
Right.
whatever you're dealing with, you can't use that as an excuse once you
right.
line up between them white lines. All that go out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Who you got?
You know, personally, it'd be a little difficult to give you who I got, being that this is one of my games that I handicapped on the website. So to give you who I got on the podcast would kind of be like conflicting to the BetMoorSports.com and the subscribers. Because if they can get the content right here for free, what the hell they need to subscribe for?
Oh, so the picks that you're giving them is money line?
Hmm?
Who winning?
Now I'm talking about this. This is a game that's on the website.
Okay. I got you.
I could tell you some interesting things about the game, but I can't.
You can't.
I don't want to give away too much, man. Then we're gonna be on the corner telling people who we like for free with a sign saying "Take the Commanders."
Take the Commanders. They could keep them motherfuckers. All right. Well, I got Washington, and the only reason I got Washington is because I think they found something in that rookie receiver, and so I think they're gonna really put it to the test this week to see if he is who we think he is. You know what I'm saying? He got off with 2 touchdowns and off of 4 or 5 receptions.
Both teams played sloppy football last week.
Right. Absolutely.
Washington played terribly sloppy against Jacksonville.
I just think that they was able to see what they getting from their personnel to a
Right.
degree. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of that sloppiness came from Carson Wentz, and I'm not a Carson Wentz hater.
Oh yeah, Carson Wentz definitely. What, he threw like 4 interceptions
he listen, Carson Wentz is
and still pulled off a win.
Right.
yeah.
That says a lot about Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is equal to the Jets.
I was in that area too, man. The Jacksonville fans was in the hotel I was staying in, and they got off the elevator with all the Jacksonville gear on before the
my
game.
gosh.
Do you know how hard it got to be a Jacksonville fan? Especially if you ain't from Jacksonville. That got to be a rough life.
That's like shit. That's like taking the charge. Shit. Can't do it. I'm just gonna straight misrepresent myself. But I mean, I did it for a couple years with San Francisco, so you know.
But San Francisco's still a legendary team with a history you can talk about. You know, it's nothing you can say about Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's true. They have no legacy.
None. I mean, they was good for a little while, but they still couldn't get over the hump.
That's the problem.
They was like a perennial team in the AFC at once upon a time.
Like that's the problem with them and the Jets. The biggest difference is Jacksonville got more star power. Had, yeah.
Right.
You would think. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, let's take a break. It's a quick break, but let's take a break and we'll come back with more of this Sunday's football pitch. BetMoorSports. Welcome back to the BetMoorSports Podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Stephen Troutman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
And, of course, once again, we got a VA legend in the building. A legend. Dexter Reid. So, let me ask y'all this, man. Tampa Bay and New Orleans is playing. Tampa Bay is like New Orleans is like the kryptonite for Tampa Bay. So, what do you think Tom Brady got to do differently that he hasn't done over the years? Because he literally seemed like he just do the same thing every game. Dexter, what you think?
What he has to do differently against New Orleans.
Specifically.
I don't have an answer for that. I feel like they defense be having every ounce to what Brady is trying to do, and can't too many teams say that.
Right.
Right.
At least in the regular season. And the Saints defense from up front in the trenches, second level with the linebackers, to the back end with the DBs, everybody seemed to be on their job when they play Tampa Bay.
I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, not Tampa Bay, just Tom or Tampa Bay since he been there.
Right.
I guess Tom kind of bring that out of everybody, don't
It just seemed like New Orleans scheme up perfectly
Right.
for that week. It's like they take all 18 weeks of preparation and put them together that week, and they just play a perfect game defensively.
he? That's their Super Bowl.
Like, I'm talking about, I think a lot of it got to do with that Marshawn Lattimore matchup with Mike Evans.
Okay.
I seen a stat say Mike Evans has not had more than 8 yards against Marshawn Lattimore in a game.
That's wow.
That's almost ridiculous. Like, if I could take Mike Evans out the offense, it's a little easier to play football against Tom when you got that pressure, like Cam Jordan and them boys coming at you, man. It's totally different when your number one is totally out the game plan.
Right. Yeah, that's it's weird because it happens even when he got Gronk, which I mean, Mike Evans is the number one, but Gronk the real number one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's something about it, but we'll see. I mean, I got Tampa Bay winning though, even though history and trend state or point towards New Orleans. You know, I feel like Tom Brady is he don't got anything to prove. He more so got something to prove to himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, Dex, who you got?
That's straight up. That's with the points. Where the points at on that game?
I don't know what the
He
point
say
is.
that's straight up.
That's a straight up victory. I can't say.
It's in the dome, ain't it? It's in New Orleans, ain't it?
Yeah. I can't say how much they gonna score because it's hard to tell. But
I like Jameis. I like the Saints.
Jameis Winston, for some reason, it's first of all, he walk like an old man, so it's real hard to watch him on the field. You know, he be running like a duck. But yeah. I mean, I get it. You know, I hope Jameis do what he's supposed to do. But you never know. You know, it's Tom Brady, man. Tom Brady.
It is.
Jameis dealing with a little back issue itself too, so
So you got the injury report.
yeah, I think he been having back spasms and stuff like that. He say he's gonna go unless, you know, he have a setback. It's kind of hard to tell with that
Right.
back. That back will be
Right.
great today
Who they back up?
and not so great tomorrow.
The
I don't know if they got Taysom Hill still playing
right.
quarterback or
He a tight end now.
yeah, I know, but he was kind of
They-
everything
Yeah, at this point.
prior to that.
But he's listed as a tight end, which is really awkward. But
But Jameis say he gonna go, and we'll see. I think the defense gonna come to play. It's like this a game we actually talked about on the Guru and the Swami podcast. So if you didn't catch that, then I kind of had that game going under the total. You know, I think the defenses are coming to play. You know, like we all agree, New Orleans kind of preps real well for Tom Brady and Tampa Bay, and Mike Evans was limited in practice all week. So you already got a man that you can't get open on. Now you're limited. So you really ain't gonna be able to get open.
yeah,
And I think
that
that's
makes
one
sense,
thing they'll play to their advantage and play to their strength. You know, because Marshawn ain't no small corner.
right.
He can get in your chest and get physical, and Mike Evans not used to people getting physical at the line of scrimmage with him because he's normally physically bigger than most DBs.
I think that's where a lot of his issue come in. Well, not his issue, but as far as Tom Brady throwing against him,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's the issue for Tom. You know, when you a big back like that, I mean, it's kind of hard when you at that level. You know, Dexter, you kind of short. You know what I'm saying? But I know you played at a pretty premier level. People in y'all positions, yeah, y'all size is normal. But imagine a person playing your position that's taller than me. You
It's
gonna look at
rare.
him- Right.
You know, it's rare, but if you got great technique, you can play football.
Right.
You know, that's pretty much it. If you got great technique and know the game and study film and study tendencies, then you can play the game of football. You know what I mean? So you can be 5'9" or you can be 6'5". You know?
Well, all right. We got Carolina and the Giants. Your G-men.
Talk about it. 1-0.
1-0. 1-0 going against the 0-1 Carolina Panthers and Baker Mayfield. Dexter. who you what you think of Baker Mayfield?
I'm not a Baker fan.
Yeah.
I think they hype him and give him too many leeways.
Too many commercials.
When you're a top 5 pick, I need you to play like a top 5 pick. And to me, I'm just not a Baker fan.
What is it that he's missing on this level? Because he seemed like he had the tools in college.
Yeah, that's when I tell people, like, that college animal to the league animal, it's a different beast. And,
Right.
and everybody that's a beast on college, they don't always transfer over. And from his college game, I didn't see him being a beast. Like, I look at it like I don't know what some of these scouts seeing. It's like, so when I heard, it's funny, like, when you talk about Baker, I like almost put him in the same category with Mitchell Trubisky, even though he's a Tar Heel quarterback. My business partner down in Carolina was like, yeah, they talking about Mitchell going top five. What?
You was BA, boy. You was hard on Mitch coming out in the
Nah,
draft.
man,
You was hard
I
on
understand talent. So
Mhm.
like for me, and you to played at that level, and I didn't play to get, I think too, and with the best Hall of Fame quarterback that's seen and played against some other quarterbacks. I think I know what an NFL Sunday quarterback look like. Like,
Right.
yeah, you might have dominated and ran around crazy and threw up some crazy stuff in college, but all that stuff don't transfer to Sunday.
Right.
That
I'm not a Baker fan, though.
I would admit, but
I got G-Man winning that game.
ooh, G-Man. When the last time somebody picked the G-Man to win a game? That
Man,
don't
you
happen
look at
often.
ESPN,
Saquon
everybody
look
probably
good right now.
picking us right now. You know, a lot of people trying to jump on the wagon.
I ain't jumping on no
Not-
wagon.
I'm not talking about you. It's a lot of people, a lot of experts talking about watch out for him now, but it's a little too premature to
Absolutely.
You know.
It's way too premature. Like, Saquon had one good game.
Saquon had a lot of good games when he was healthy.
I'm talking about right now.
He only played one game.
All I'm saying is one good game is not enough to overreact.
No, I don't think people are overreacting. I think people are just excited to see him actually look like himself.
Right. Okay.
You know, because what he said and what I kind of said earlier was when you come back off a severe knee injury, your first year back, if you never really been severely injured, you might say to yourself that I ain't thinking about it. It's in the back of my mind, but in the back of your mind, you thinking about it.
Right.
So you could tell the way Saquon was running and cutting last year that he didn't feel comfortable. You know, he's an explosive runner.
Right.
And he didn't look like himself coming off that knee, right? And then to have a freak accident and twist your ankle, and now you back out. So it's like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. He don't know how to move on the field. He just looked like a player who is confident in his leg again. you
Right.
know?
I mean, he definitely ran with confidence. I mean, literally. I mean, I think one play he broke for like 80 yards.
Yeah.
And he was just, it was like he was fighting for his life. You know, it sounds weird, but it's literally like my man was running, and he was like, can't nobody touch me because I have to get here or it's over. He got there, though. He did it, and he's giving y'all hope.
What made me think that he was back, I seen a few long runs. He had a few gashing runs, but the 2-point conversion when the man, that was all sheer determination. It was the game on the line.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't get it, we down a point. We lose the game more than likely. I got a man at me, in front of me. I got one on my face mask, and I'm not letting none of this stop me. And when he squared up with the DB on the goal line and just ran right through him, I said, okay, Saquon, he back because he ain't ducking contact.
Right. So that means he ran with so much confidence, man. It's crazy. All right, Dexter, you said you got the G-Man winning that game.
I do.
Okay. All right. I got the G-Man winning that game too.
That's what, man.
Guru ain't gonna ask you because
I already know.
you know. All right. Next up, we got New England, one of your alma maters, against Pittsburgh. New England and Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. So who you got winning that game, Dexter?
Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right. You think Pittsburgh a better team than New England?
Overall, right now, yes.
And
that's even with the injury to Watt right now.
Oh wow. Okay.
But Pittsburgh got your man, Mitchell Trubisky.
They do.
They do.
But they have enough around him,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a lot better coaching than he had at Chicago.
Right.
That Tomlin ain't gonna really put Trubisky in too many crazy.
Positions. Yeah.
Right, he gonna put him in position to win. Feed Najee, and we gonna run this bootleg, and you hit the second cross or first cross, get the ball to hand, nobody open. Go ahead, and use your legs. Like he gonna play it safe with him because he know what type of defense he has. So I don't really see. I see New England because of Belichick. My man Bill keeping it close, but Fitzpatrick probably make a couple plays. I don't.
He's
see
a
New England.
beast.
Yeah,
Minka
I'm a
Fitzpatrick's
fan.
a
I'm fan.
beast.
Najee a little banged up too though.
Najee is banged up.
Everybody banged up, man. It's September, man.
He say he gonna play though. He say he'll be out there, so we gotta see how he look when he take the field. But he left the game last game and didn't come back.
I tell you one thing: if players like Deontay Johnson, what's his name?
Wide receiver.
Yeah, if people like him show up like they supposed to, he'll be fine. He's gonna be a number one receiver somewhere, not in Pittsburgh, but somewhere. Pittsburgh not gonna pay him. All right, I got Pittsburgh winning that game too. It just makes sense. They're at home. Matt Jones is fine, quote unquote, but you couldn't tell from the way he was playing. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't feel like New England got enough right now.
Right.
Bill Belichick, the GOAT coach, but even a coach that's a GOAT need enough.
Yeah, he
Or
playing with
another
a
goat
couple
like-
possibles.
Need another goat like Tom Brady.
Literally.
They showed Bill Rucker without Tom, boy, it didn't look real goatish.
That's because most of his games was with Tom. You know, I guess it's one of those things. Sometimes two people just fit well together. I
Right.
guess, you know, he'll probably never have the success he had. And Tom Brady went into a great situation when he went to Tampa Bay. He went to Tampa Bay and they had lobster and shrimp at the table waiting for him. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, and I get why he won. I mean, at the end of the day, champions do that.
Mm-hmm.
So he took what they gave him and made it useful.
I don't care how great your coaching is. On Sunday, you can't win without a quarterback.
Right.
And like, besides the
Unless you got a
top 7, top 10 quarterbacks in the league, you can't win without a quarterback.
Unless you got a
hell of a defense.
A hell of a
We ain't
defense,
really
like a-
seen one of them since
like
probably
an 85 Bears or
Yeah.
Ray Lewis Ravens or the
The
Tampa Bay
Ravens,
Bucks.
right.
They kind of won strictly off their defense. When
Yeah.
we talk about championships, strong running
Yeah,
game and defense.
strong, right.
You got a 2,000-yard rusher. You don't need a quarterback. You just turn around and hand it off, and we're going to stop you more than you stop us.
Yeah. Because,
Wow.
I mean, hell, we went to the Super Bowl and let a lot of people tell it we ain't had no quarterback, which we did.
He ain't lose the game.
He
He
ain't
won't
lose
no
the
Joe
game.
Flacco.
No, hell no.
You had Jimmy G.
Jimmy G, yeah.
And he
Jimmy
went
G.
down
Huh? Yeah, we
like the Titanic.
listen. Somebody got to win. Somebody got to lose.
So is that culture? Cause Jimmy G was looking like a baller when he was out there in New England.
Well, Jimmy G. I feel like Jimmy G is
It's the
high.
system.
He's a high end manager, right? He can manage the game to put them in a position to win. A lot of the games that we won last year, we won those games by field goals because we had a late drive that put us in field goal range.
It's about winning. In the league, it ain't too many blowouts anyway.
Exactly. And I think that's what a lot of people don't get, though. People take the fact that Jimmy G is not Patrick Mahomes and assume that he's not, who he is. But
All right, well, go 7-10 and just be sorry then.
yeah, one thing that we all know, everybody in
Go
here
ahead, 'cause
know.
y'all about to ride with Trey, right? Y'all about to ride with the young boy. He can't even throw in the rain.
Listen, we about to ride with him for the next 2 weeks. We gonna see how the next 2 weeks
I better
go.
not lose to Geno.
Bro, we better not lose to Geno.
You lose to Geno.
She don't look good last week.
Look,
Trying
the
to tell you.
49er crowd is gonna be booing and cheering for Jimmy to take over. And
Yeah,
and I'm gonna say this because I said it at the beginning of the season. Keeping Jimmy to back up Trey Lance was not, to me, the best idea for that young man's confidence.
But you want to know something though? You want to know something? Somebody said this that I heard that made so much sense. If Jimmy G being there affects his confidence, he's not meant for that role. Plain
That's
and
true,
simple.
but sometimes you can shatter a young quarterback's confidence. Because you got a quarterback on your roster that's behind you that took the team to the Super Bowl and to the NFC Championship game.
Right, and
So you know the expectations that you come in with, like, I benched him for you, so I'm expecting you to win the Super Bowl, pretty much.
yeah, but that's the problem. That's the problem. Like you bringing in a person that you don't know if they can fill those shoes to fill shoes, and when you're doing that, guess what happens? You end up in tough situations, and the media do not play. They will go in and in and in. If Trey Lance had a bad game tomorrow,
And it ain't raining.
and it ain't raining, bruh, Trey Lance need to throw for over 300, no more than one
He
interception,
ain't gotta
2
do that.
touchdowns. He has to have a game better than that of what Jimmy Garoppolo would have. Because what you are doing is you taking what Jimmy Garoppolo bring, which is winning. He's a winner. And you putting it all to the side for the unknown.
Right. I just haven't seen enough football out of Trey Lance. Like, I don't know what he is, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
He went to a smaller division school. We went North Dakota State.
Yep.
And he played 5 or 6 games there. He ain't really
Well,
play a whole season.
No, he played a whole season.
He played one whole season.
Right. He lost one game total being at the school the whole time he was there.
But he only played 1 year.
Right. He threw one interception total the whole time he been at that school. Literally, he actually no, he didn't throw an interception.
I'm gonna have to fact check.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
'cause
Fact checked it.
I think Dex played a little quarterback in high school. He might can go out there in North Dakota State right now and not throw an interception.
I don't know. They got my man to the number
They
3
must ain't
spot.
play no rain games at North Dakota State because he damn
Must
sure
ain't
was
play in
tossing
the
it to the
rain.
Bears
Yeah, yeah.
last week.
Listen, that rain was crazy, man. Like I can't see how people could even run on that field when there's puddles of water everywhere.
Mm-hmm. The Bears need to do a better job with the drainage system on that field. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it damn sure look terrible. I ain't never seen a professional field look like that.
It was bad. With that said, San Francisco and Seattle. Dexter, who you got?
Geno.
If Geno play like he played last week, y'all in trouble.
You think our defense gonna let that happen?
Is your man playing? I think he might. Is he hurt?
Who? Bosa?
Yeah.
No, he playing. He healthy. He's just fine.
still like Seattle.
Oh,
'Cause I don't like y'all
okay.
quarterback right now. and y'all, and,
Nick,
and it's like y'all defense has to go score points, go score 14 points for y'all really to win that game.
well, you know,
For me. And y'all capable of doing that.
our offense is predicated on the run. So I think if we can run the ball like
What
we're
if y'all
supposed to,
can't run the ball?
then we got to rely on Trey Lance, and
Exactly.
that's the. I mean, but I think it's better for us to find out about Trey Lance now than to wait till late in the season to find out about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're gonna figure out if he is who we think he is, then you know what I'm saying. Now's the time. Ain't no need to wait. So, but I got us winning, of course. I actually got us winning convincingly.
Wow.
Well, number one, I feel like that Jeff Wilson is a hell of a running back.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last game he actually started, he rushed for 185 yards. So I think if the scheme is right, if things are done the way they're supposed to, I also feel like Trey Lance got something to prove. So because he got something to prove, they're going to tailor the game around him and his strengths, which in turn will enable him to capitalize on a lot of the stuff. And we got Kittle back this week.
Oh.
So, but we'll see. And Kittle is an integral part of the offensive line.
Right.
You know, he's an outstanding blocker, and when he's in the game blocking, our running game is significant. So, but we'll see. We'll see. But again, I got San Francisco. That's you got Seattle. Yours on the site?
No, this one is actually something we talked about also on the Guru and the Swam, and I want to point out something that I pointed out then, that Pete Carroll
Mm-hmm.
has won the last 15 out of 17 straight up against San Francisco.
I don't think that's true though.
I know it's true.
I know we beat them. I think we beat them twice last year.
No, he won the last 5 straight from my notes.
Oh no, I know he ain't won the last 5 straight because we won the game that won us the division when we went to the Super Bowl. Or
Well,
when we went to the NFC Championship.
We'll look at
But
that.
yeah,
I'll go with that.
we'll fact check it.
But
that was
15 of the
year
last
before last.
17, Pete Carroll.
2020.
2020, yeah. When we went to the NFC Championship.
Done dusted
y'all
off
done
the
played
nana.
them 6 times since then, though.
Huh?
Y'all done played them because they in y'all division yet, so y'all playing them twice anyway.
Right. So we played them twice since then. So it varies. But guess what time it is? It's time to take a break. With that said, BetMoorSports will be back. Welcome back to the BetMoorSports podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Stephen Troutman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
Yes, sir. And we got our guest of the evening in here. Of course, you better believe it. We got my man, Dexter Reid. With that said, next game up. We got New Indianapolis and Jacksonville. Indianapolis and Jacksonville. Dex, who you got?
The Jags.
Oh. Over Matt Ryan and them.
Like that. Like that.
Why I got the Jags?
Yeah.
Even though they played erratic last week, I guess, against the Commanders, I think from game to game we're gonna see improvements from Trevor and just improvements from that team. And I think they should get the coach, just be able to bottle up, try to stop that running game. But I think they should get the coach.
Okay. Guru, you got any insight?
You know how I feel about Indy, man. I don't know what to say about them right now. You know, the people tied the Houston Texans, and they were 7-point favorites And they went down there and tied the people.
Yeah, but Davis Mills had a hell of a game.
Davis Mills should not have a hell of a game against the Colts. The Colts defense was solid last year. And you let Davis Mills,
But maybe it's that Davis Mills just got better.
he's some kind of Meek Mills.
You wish.
Because he's no Trevor Lawrence.
Of course not. But I don't think his expectations is to be Trevor Lawrence.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. So if you, for one, Indy hasn't won in Jacksonville since 2014.
Mhm.
They haven't won a game, and they play them every year, at least once in Jacksonville. Every year. They go down there, take that trip to Jacksonville. Like I said, they went down there with the playoffs on the line, and all they had to do was beat Jacksonville, and they lost. Straight up eliminated from the playoffs. Carson Wentz out of there. He's in Washington.
Aha.
Bring in Matt Ryan, who last time we seen him in a game of any significance, he squandered a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. So
Don't talk about that out loud.
I don't know what to say about him, to be honest.
Well, listen, I don't know. All I know is Matt Ryan is an upgrade from Carson Wentz. You know what I'm saying? And so because Matt Ryan is an upgrade from Carson Wentz, it's a big difference when it all boils down. Matt Ryan brings experience, and Carson Wentz got the ability to be a loser. Not that Matt Ryan has been a great winner, because he hasn't, but he's a better loser. I mean, a better winner than Carson Wentz. Yeah.
I want to see Indy win the game because they need to get that streak broken. And the man can't start 0-1-1 in his first two games as the coach quarterback, and the people are expecting you and predicting you to win the division. You can't start 0-1-1. But I don't think nobody in that division got to win.
Nope.
Two of them tied and the other two lost.
That's some of the surprises up to this point. That, and then 3 teams in the NFC East got wins. Like, what? Who would have ever thought that 3 teams would be undefeated in the NFC East? 3.
NFC East, the greatest division in football.
Listen, not to mention that
In the history of football.
the team that is picked to win the division is the only team with a loss.
No, Dallas won't predict to win. Philly was predicted to win the division. Dallas going to finish last.
I mean, at this point, Dallas is
I ain't
done.
have them last, but I did have them in the mix. I didn't have them winning the division nowhere before the season started.
Oh, okay. Well, I know I heard a lot of people refer to Dallas as the division champ. Well, they crowned them before the season started.
If you ever notice, right, Dallas is going to be mentioned in the mix. I done seen times where they predict Dallas to be one of the best teams in the NFC, and I just don't see the talent that everybody. And I'm a good evaluator of talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't see the talent that everybody else sees when they say Dallas is the best team in the NFC. I don't see the talent. Do you see the talent in Dallas, Dexter?
Man, they ain't won since I was in high school. That's 25 years ago, man. No, I don't see the talent. I didn't have them winning that division either preseason. That's before that injury.
Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense. I know the Eagles is a much better team than all the teams in that division on paper, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just about what happens.
You got to put it
From the
together
season.
on the field.
Yeah.
Then you got to get something out that quarterback position. If they can get consistent play from the quarterback position, because A.J. Brown already showing you that, hey, man, I'm a dog at this number 1 receiver position. You're going to have to lace him up
He definitely
every
showed
Sunday,
up.
Monday or Thursday to get in his business,
Yeah.
you know. And he's a blessing to Philly because he can run every route on the route tree. You know, it's a difference.
And he big.
Right. It's
You
a
know?
difference when you got a when you can throw a short hitch to somebody that's 240 solid that run like the wind. You know, it ain't no easy tackle in the open field for no DB.
Right.
You know, Smith on the other hand, he a $135 soaking wet, man. He catch him in the open field, I
Crush
tee him off.
him. Russian sickle that
You
fool.
know what I mean? So he just adds a different dimension, especially when you got a quarterback that can move around
Mm-hmm.
and run. So they're a very dangerous team, and they got a solid offensive line.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. That's for sure. And they play on Monday night against Minnesota. Who you got in that game? That's a tough one, ain't it?
It's not really a tough one, man, but that one definitely
On
will be on the website, man. You can't get no primetime games out the guru. Anything primetime, man, you got to shine up. Well, I might throw it to you as the guru's pick of the day.
You never know.
You never know.
Absolutely. What about you, Dex? Who you got winning Eagles and Vikings?
What a game at?
The game is in Philly.
I got the Vikings
You got the Vikings beating the Eagles.
in Philly.
Justin Jefferson is an animal. That's for
Yes,
sure.
he is.
I'm going to have to get to Philly just because they in Philly. I think that's the only edge I feel like Philly got. If you look at the paper side of things on the offense side of the ball, I'm going to say that they even, but don't take it as I'm saying that Kirk Cousins and Jalen Hurts are even. But I feel like it's a lot of things that the Eagles got that make up for where they're short at quarterback, if that makes sense. Even though I know the quarterback is the primary position, it's not that their quarterback is trash. It's just he needs some help, and they got the help for it. So, okay. All right. Next up, Baltimore and Miami. It's going to be a good game. That game is going to be at Baltimore. Of course, we know Lamar got something to play for. You got Tua got something to play for. You got the Cheetah, who got something to prove. I don't even think it's
Why you feel like Lamar got something to play for, though?
he playing for his contract. He's owed that money. He should have had that contract. But what's happening is when he play that MVP season, what can they say?
Right. So
That's what he got to
feel
play
like
for.
What I already did. Like, nah, pay me for what I have done and what you invested in over these next 10 years. Like, and pay me what the market is. They just gave my man 250 of them things guaranteed. Like,
Right.
and he ain't no MVP. So what I'm playing for?
Well,
I'm just curious.
The market changed now.
'Cause I feel like he unorthodox is why they sending him through all these loopholes.
Well, he's a bigger risk for sure. You know what I'm saying? But I think that because it's been reported that they offer him $250 million, but it was $133 million guaranteed, and that's a big part of his problem. Like, don't offer me that amount and it all be incentive laced. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that it's one of those things where he got something to prove because he want a fully guaranteed contract.
Right.
You want it?
Deshaun Watson kind of messed the market up.
He
Cleveland screwed the market up when they paid that man like that, but it's great for the position because they throwing the money to everybody. Kyler Murray just got some money.
Right. Well,
Russ just got some money.
I think that's why Russ deal is the way that it is, because I think they trying to minimize that guaranteed contract aspect of things. It's only been one person outside of Kirk Cousins that got a fully guaranteed contract at his position, at the quarterback position per se. That's the highest paid position,
Right.
and that's Deshaun Watson, which was on some crazy stuff. People like what, but Russell Wilson went in and got that $245 million deal, but $160 guaranteed or $180 guaranteed or something like that. And I feel like that's them trying to bring it back to reality.
Can you imagine when it's time for Justin Herbert to get paid?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like L.A. is going to hesitate.
They not.
They gonna pay that man.
That's what I'm saying. Can you just imagine? Like, I know he's sitting back looking at these contracts like, I can't wait for my turn.
yeah.
I'm gonna break the bank when it come around to me.
Man, let me ask y'all this question. If you had a choice, who would you pick? Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, or Pat Mahomes? Guru.
Patrick Mahomes. I had to think about that.
Now we talking about based on play, not based on original success.
But that's all part of the play.
Well, I'm saying skill set. I mean, Patrick Mahomes will always be first if we base it off of their success because he's the only person that won the Super Bowl.
And his skill set, like what can he do besides run like Josh Allen?
Yeah.
And he ain't no slouch outside the pocket. But I just think that his football IQ kind of supersedes a lot of theirs. Like, his ability to see, people look at the no-look throws and stuff like that, but it's his ability to manipulate the defense to make them think he's about to do something totally opposite. And soon as you bite that bait, he go right where you just left.
Yeah.
You vacate the spot, he come. I seen a throw he made in the last game, and he's
Stupid. I already know what throw
the
you're talking
man
about.
rolled to the right, and the DB was glued to the tight end, and everybody thought that he was gonna run, and he pumped, and then he took his eyes off the man, but he still had the DB in his peripheral. Soon as the DB slid a tad bit toward that right, he
He gripped.
zipped the ball
That's
right to him.
those
Like,
the underhand sidearm throw he made.
everybody can't do that, and it's not.
Yeah.
He ain't welling when he do it. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like some
That's a
people,
part of his game.
right? Some people do some stuff, and you be like, he welling with that one, but he does it, and it's not him. Like I said, it's not him welling. It's just natural. It's
Right.
instinctive, and you can't coach that. If I got a player who can win at the highest level with abilities that you can't coach, I can't teach you that.
Right.
We can have a million practices. I can't teach no other quarterback that.
I think it's a couple of things you can't teach. That's one of them. And then size. You can't teach size and heart and
Mhm.
hunger. You know what I'm saying? That has to come from within the individual.
Right.
So you're 100% right. But that's also a reason why I feel like Josh Allen might be the better option in that regard, just because of his ability to show up. And no matter what happens, I don't think I've ever seen Josh Allen close to rattled. And it's not that Patrick Mahomes has been rattled, but I've seen teams figure Patrick Mahomes out. You know what I'm saying? Where those underhand throws don't always get him what he's trying to get,
Right.
or throwing it with his offhand, or any of that. But I just seen a significant amount of consistency come from Josh Allen, and I feel like that the way Josh Allen is, they'll never. Well, I ain't gonna say never. I don't feel like whenever they're in short yard situations, they ever have to punt the ball.
No, they shouldn't. You got a quarterback that's 6'4", 6'5", 200
50.
something. Yeah.
That's
You
what's standing
shouldn't.
out to me.
Right.
You know.
But even with all that ability, he still don't impact the run game. Like, Buffalo can't run the football. And when they get cold outside
And they get
and
cold.
and,
Yeah.
and defenses start zoning in late December, early January, you can't win a football game just throwing the ball 500 times
Right.
with Josh Allen. You know what I mean? I seen Patrick Mahomes win games like that. He won one against Josh Allen.
Yeah,
to
he
get
did.
to the
didn't
AFC Championship. So
he did. That's,
Josh Allen got a lot for me to kind of still do and still accomplish.
Right.
He's not a bad quarterback. He's actually one of the young, great quarterbacks. And he's another one that's kind of licking his chops for that payday. When it's time to pay him, he
He got paid.
already got a contract?
Yeah, Josh Allen got paid first before everybody.
No, he going to come up for another one.
Oh, he got about 2, maybe 3 years before he come up for another one.
Oh, okay.
But he got over 100 or something.
Yeah, well, he come up again, he going to get 280, 290, 300.
That is terrible. All right. What about you Dex? Who you got between those three quarterbacks? Herbert, Allen, and Mahomes.
Um, Herb was a great talent. I can understand why you would say Allen for the physical specimen. I gotta go with Mahomes just on some from a skill set. That's what I would expect from a top 5 pick. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Right. But he ain't go top 5. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he did.
So like, he just does stuff past the X's and O's, and that's what you gonna expect from a great. Like it's players in the league. You got average, you got good, then you got great.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't too many great, and I just feel like his overall game is great, and he ain't even been in the league 5 years.
Which is crazy, right? All right, let's get back to the Baltimore Miami game because we ain't pick who we had winning that game. I know we talked about the risk that Lamar taking career wise, but I'm pretty sure he got options for like insurance and things of that nature that could kind of cover him in the event that something do happen. But who you got winning that game?
Ravens.
Ravens. Guru.
I got the Ravens. I gave that on the Guru on the Schwarman. That was one of my money line bets. The Ravens to win. Like I say, when they played Miami the last time, Miami embarrassed Lamar last year. But it was on a Thursday night, and Thursday night games, not for the stars. I done seen a lot of people look bad on Thursday night, and Lamar just looked historically bad. You know, they kept him out the end zone. They didn't get in the end zone to the fourth quarter. I think the score was like 6-3 all the way through the entire game until the fourth quarter, and Miami ended up beating them like 22-10. And you know Lamar from Florida, man.
Yeah.
Down south boy. He want to show off against Miami. They embarrassed him when he came to Miami last year. So he want to get back, and he want to get back in front of his home crowd. And I think Baltimore pull it out. Plus, like Harbaugh's like 15-3 in home openers. Like the man don't lose at home in the first game in Baltimore. So I like Baltimore to get the win.
Well, I'm with y'all. I'm all for it. Baltimore, and I got Baltimore winning a really close game. If I had to get a score, I'm saying actually 24-27, same score as the game with that happened on Thursday night.
I want to say this though, real quick. If you are not in the BetMoorSports group on Facebook, the people are posting a lot of winners.
Yo, one dude posted a joint. It was a bunch of prop bets in that joint, and I think he either won every last one or he won 9 out of 10.
Oh yeah, I seen that he had one bad prop, and it was a foolish prop. But I'm talking about from the picks that was put on the website today. The people are cashing in a lot of tickets and they posting. So you might want to subscribe to BetMoorSports.com, man, because the people's cashing in on college football, and it's going to be even better for this NFL Sunday.
Yes, sir. And hold on, you got me checking my joint right now because, listen, it's money out there. I ain't got none of it yet, but it's in the works. All right. So we also got Cincinnati and Dallas. Dex, who your team?
I don't have a team. Last time I had a team, Jim Irsay was paying me. What do you say? Cincinnati and Dallas. Cincinnati.
Cincinnati?
Won't be close. Shouldn't be close.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, but I got Cincinnati going too. No Dak. CeeDee Lamb was absent last week with Dak. I don't know what he'll do now unless Cooper Rush is going to force feed on the ball.
Right. I kind of told people before the season, right, that when Amari Cooper left and they promoted CeeDee Lamb to that number one receiver with no help on that backside, it's a whole lot easier to scheme for CeeDee. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have nobody else in the receiving core that scares anybody.
Right.
If I roll coverage to CeeDee Lamb, that's it. Where else you going with the football?
I mean that.
And how
that
can
makes
you
sense.
get open, right? So everybody was saying, "No, CD gonna be the man because it don't work like that.
No.
It just don't work like that unless you Megatron size or you like AJ. You know what I mean? Like you got to have a skill set that's physically dominant or superior." Because all these DBs are good. Even though we'll look at some and we'll be like, man, he trash. How he make it to the league? He made it to the league for a reason.
Right.
He can actually play the game of football. But more than that, these defensive coordinators make a lot of money to scheme. I'm not going to let you beat me, and I know you don't have a threat outside of you.
Right.
Zeke got older. He can't really run the ball. And then you got the head coach. The head coach don't want to run the football anyway.
He lost.
He want to throw the football, and he don't have the personnel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you can trick yourself into believing you still got this top-tier personnel because the media will sell you a dream, and you'll buy it sometimes. And that's what they did.
It's
They
easy to do.
made people think that, oh, Dak can drop back 30, 40 times, just air it out. But the who?
That's the goal. That's the goal. Don't nobody know. That's what we trying to figure out.
I feel sorry for those who drafted CD Lamb in their fantasy, though, man. Because,
Damn, I did.
oh, you did?
I actually sent you a trade with CD Lamb in it.
Did not.
Did not. That is not good. Not good at all. All right. So next up, we got Denver and Houston. So Denver took a tough L last week against Seattle. It was a close game, but Geno outplayed Russell Wilson, plain and simple. And then Pete Carroll outcoached whoever Denver coach is. I don't know his name. He knew, right?
Yeah, he first year head coach.
Yeah.
He
So-
keep making decisions like that. It's gonna be his last year head coach.
He trying to kick 64 yards. Dexter, you ever witnessed somebody kick or attempt a field goal that far?
No.
That's crazy, right?
I want to ask you an even better question.
59.
Have you ever seen a kicker kick that far when your quarterback just got $246 million? I said this. Look, if we gonna kick a 64-yard field goal, Russell Wilson gonna line up to kick it.
Right.
Ain't no whole lot
You
to
hit that right on the nose.
Yeah,
boy.
if the field goal is the play coach, Russell, get your leg warmed up,
Leg warm.
cause you going out there to kick it. That's the only way I'm dying. I'm dying with Russ. It's 4th and 5, and then the reason that the man gave originally
Terrible.
made no sense. Then he recanted and
Yeah.
gave a reason after that made
Even, no more.
Even less.
less sense than the original reason. Like if we get to the 40, our game plan was if we get to the 46-yard line, we kicking it. If the running back would have been 1 yard shorter on the screen, and they would have got stopped at the 47, it would have been 4th and 6. They would have went for it, but it's 4th and 5. That made no sense. Like, bro, these people hired, and the crazy part about it is the new owners are not the ones that hired you.
Yeah, that's
And
how
you made a decision like that after these people just went in their pocket and paid the quarterback. You pull the quarterback off the field and tell the kicker, go kick something you've never kicked before in your life. I done seen Russell convert a lot of 4th and 5s in his
Right.
career. This man never kicked a 64-yard field goal. So I'm gonna ask you to do something you have never done,
and
and
expect
we-
you to do it.
and we in a hostile environment on the road, and we just paid this man all this money. No, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna do it, right? And what's even crazier than that is when they started the drive, they had 3 timeouts in more than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They let 20-something seconds run off the clock to the 2-minute warning. Get to the 2-minute warning, you still got the ball with 3 timeouts. You call your first timeout at 20 seconds.
Hey, everybody ain't meant for this job. That's all I'm saying. Everybody ain't meant for it. I am. So if you hiring, I have
They
your
might
team
need
win.
you, boy, because that was the worst coaching decision I ever seen in my life. And I done seen some bad decisions.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst.
That was one of the worst. That is terrible. All right, Dex, who you got winning that game? Denver or Houston?
Denver.
You think they're going to win convincingly? You think Russell Wilson is going to redeem himself?
when he redeemed himself, I'm not a big Russell Wilson fan. Never have been. He just got the bag though, so I think he should come out there and bounce back from the performance he had the first game.
Should be at least close to easy, right?
Houston, yeah, 'cause they got some problems. They're trying to figure out some things, and
Right. They relying on Damian Pierce. That's his name.
They don't even got him starting. They got what's his name, Rex Burkhead.
Yeah.
He getting the bulk of the carries down there in Houston for now.
For now.
Pierce gonna take over the starting spot. So if you got Burkhead in your lineup, gonna get you a few more. Well, he ain't gonna get much against Denver anyway. So
Yeah. I think he gonna get more receptions than runs.
yeah, well, you know, the person I'm playing in the BetMoorSports Fantasy League got Burkhead. They picked him up out of free agency, and I think they think that they're gonna use him
To beat you.
to beat me. It's not gonna happen.
We'll see. Dex, you be playing the fantasy football, John?
I don't
You stay away from him, huh?
stay away from him.
Hey, I can dig it. I can dig it. All right, and Guru, you don't got to pick for this one, right?
No, I don't gotta pick.
Yeah,
this
I ain't
one,
gonna
man.
put you through that, but I got Denver. I got Denver winning because I feel like Russell Wilson got something to prove at this point.
Nah,
He lose two straight.
he better not.
He gonna be looked at.
No, but they're not gonna look at him. They're gonna look at the coach. The coach can't lose this game.
Well, yeah.
Russell Wilson is solidified. You know what I mean? This coach
Right.
ain't proved nothing in this league, so he can't start 0-2.
He got to
Especially with
belong.
2 losses to Seattle without Russell Wilson and Houston in Denver. Ain't no way.
That's
They
not
might
good.
tell him pack up tomorrow.
Go home. Go home in the morning.
Yeah,
We'll see you
gonna
later.
put an intern in for the next 15 games.
Man, that's
Can
the
you
drama.
imagine getting fired after 2 days
On
on the job
No, but when you got
in
people
your
out
first
here,
year?
you got people out here getting fired on the day in which they don't work. So anything is possible.
Anything.
So-
City.
Easy. All right. You got the Raiders and the Cardinals. Cardinals got their ass whooped last week. Hell, the
I'm
Raiders got
talking
their
about
ass whooped last week too, didn't they?
But the Raiders was competitive.
Right.
Everybody except Cobb. He was playing the role of the all-time quarterback. You know, back in the day when you had the all-time quarterback, you quarterback for both teams.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was quarterbacking for both teams. He was the Chargers quarterback and he was Vegas quarterback. So, outside of that, they still kept it competitive. Arizona couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah.
I
Arizona
think
looked real.
the Chiefs scored every time they touched the ball, at least the first 5 or 6 possessions.
Yeah, I think I realized that players of certain statures have the ability to motivate the team just from them being there. So, like, I feel like Arizona lacked the motivation,
Mm-hmm.
right? That they had, the confidence that they had when Hopkins was there playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could see them look different. They had a completely different look. And Hopkins not there, and they playing like they timid, like they scared. Patrick Mahomes made them look like he was going back to the Super Bowl this year right away.
What y'all think about that deal that
Kyler Murray got?
Kyler Murray signed? I'm talking about the clauses in.
Closes.
Yeah. What you think about that? Like,
It's
I'm
weird.
gonna pay you a certain amount of money, but you gotta study film. Like, you gotta report. Like, I'm doing homework in it.
So my thing is, so I think I try to think from the perspective of the owner because I'm business minded.
Right.
And personally, if it's been brought to my attention that either he don't study film or a lot of things happen in a game that could have been prevented if he studied the film, you know what I'm saying? Then of course, if I'm gonna pay you all this money, they recanted it. I would have recanted it. If that's how I feel, that's how I feel. I'm paying you $160 million guaranteed, $230 million over 5 years. I don't mean no harm. If I want you to study film every day, goddammit, go study film every day.
But now I'm paying you to study film, and you look worse than you did when you won't study film.
Right. See,
That's the key.
problem, right?
That's what they'll figure out. Like, yeah, don't study the
Yeah,
film.
don't come on, bro. This how you gonna look when you study. Don't even study.
It's crazy that they would put that in his contract out loud, where somebody can find that out and put it and report it, because the one thing you don't want is to question professional athletes'
Right.
ability. You know
That's
what I'm
something
saying?
you do, I think, on the recreational league level,
Right.
and high school level. Say, hey, if you don't bring your report card to practice, you can't play in the game. But at this level, I'm gonna give you $200 and something million, 160 guaranteed, but you got to prove that you studying.
He must not be putting in. His history has to be showing that he's not putting in the work.
Right.
In his preparation.
Exactly.
For him to put a clause like that, and that's a problem.
Right. That's a big problem, especially at the quarterback position.
It's weird. It almost seemed like the pressure was on for them to get that deal done, and a part of getting that deal done was saying, "Hey, if you do what you're supposed to do, we all good with it." And he said, "All right, I'll do it." And they said, "Okay, we're gonna make sure you do it. Put it in the contract." And we put it in the contract, and he said, "All right, whatever." And then the moment to get out, he got a problem with it. He ain't had no damn problem with it when he was signing that shit.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
not.
So, to me, it's like, bruh, he was prepared to study. And then the media want to get involved, and then y'all want to mess up our study arrangement. But if he need to study, he need to study. I mean,
Well, I hope that ain't how he looked when he studied, boy. 'Cause he looked terrible.
I mean, he looked like an alien
If
anyway.
he was down 37-7, and I'm paying you to study,
And obviously, he ain't studying.
you studied the wrong team.
he was studying Trey Lance.
See, they read. I just know they read. I didn't know who I supposed to be studying. I'm supposed to be looking at the Chiefs. I studied the red team.
All right, so we also got Green Bay going. Well, wait. Before I go there, who you got winning this game, Dex? Between the Cardinals and the Raiders.
Cardinals,
Raiders. Devontae Adams gonna get off again.
He will get off. Carr should look a lot better after one game.
The man force fed Devontae Adams too.
Yeah.
Man threw the man the ball 17 times.
Listen, he is gonna force feed. He gonna get.
Yeah.
That's how
He gonna get 15
Devontae Adams
targets
is
a
good.
game.
But how you feel if you Darren Waller?
He should get 10 targets a game.
Listen,
You see, as soon as they started going to Darren Waller, they couldn't check him. They was moving the ball up and down the field.
did you also notice that Darren Waller got his deal before the season started? Because Darren Waller knew that he was going to lose a significant amount of touches. So he's like, you know what? Pay me now, because I don't want y'all to pay me based off of what take place this year.
But that ain't, to me, that's not football. Because I bring in my college buddy, I'm going to say, forget the game plan. The overall goal in this league is to win, right? Mm-hmm. And he has the weapons around him that can help him win a football game. But if you saying, all right, I'm going to acclimate you to the system, but I'm going to throw you the ball every time. No, that ain't how the game of football works.
You're 100% right. But it's a difference when your college teammate is the number one receiver in the league.
And poor Hunter Renfrow.
Oh, yeah. Hunter Renfrow is going to be absent. He is going to be
might get 5 targets.
I'm talking about the season.
Hunter Renfrow.
He just on the backside running routes.
Hunter Renfrow about to turn the Rex Burkhead. He ain't even no damn running back.
Man, look, man, the man ain't even look. The man way half the time.
That's sometimes that's how it gotta be though. Like, you know, and we know what makes Devontae Adams successful.
Right.
Reps. And when you got every quarterback, first of all, he big than a motherfucker. So when you that big and you go back, who you think is easier to see in his peripheral? Hunter Renfrow or Devontae Adams?
Hey, did you see the meme they had with Aaron Rodgers saying that he said, God damn, man, y'all done traded away Devontae and left me with these bums.
Straight up.
And then they got a picture of Devontae Adams laying in the bed looking at a picture of Aaron Rodgers. But they miss each other, man. They're going to do a lot of losing without one another.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a given. Well, not Aaron Rodgers.
He gonna figure it out.
He can do a lot of losing this year.
Now he'll figure it out.
He's gonna retire after this.
I think he'll figure it out. I think those receivers will catch on sooner or later. Because one thing about AR, he put the ball where, goddamn, bro, like, you can go out there and make some of these catches the way his ball plays. Like, he put the football right there in the grip.
That's the problem.
And once you drop it, like, God damn.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what.
I ain't seen I'm talking about that first deep ball he threw to the rookie. It was so pretty, man. Like,
I'm going to tell you what Green Bay need to do. And this might sound astronomical, and it ain't from a fan perspective, but they need to trade Aaron Jones. They got A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon. Trade A.J. Dillon to San Francisco for Brandon Ayuk.
Everybody get traded to San Francisco.
Brandon Ayuk. I'm telling you, that Brandon Ayuk is a quarterback that if he got he's a wide receiver that if he got a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, he can be a Pro Bowler. Plain and simple. If he get a person to throw him the ball.
They ain't trading no running back for that, though.
You don't think so? Even though their weakness right now is receivers.
Well, they was missing a receiver. They had a receiver hurt, right?
Oh, Lazard.
Lazard, he was hurt.
Right. And I think he probably out for another week. But they got veterans in there like Sammy Watkins and Randall Cobb. So it's odd. It's really odd because I would think that at this point, with Lazard out, Randall Cobb would be the number one because
Sammy Watkins has one of the most disappointing careers
in
NFL history.
He do.
He came with a lot of hype around him.
Injuries, man.
Yeah.
Injuries will mess a career up. Will it, Dex?
It will.
You gotta hydrate, man. A lot of them soft tissue injuries come from not stretching and not hydrating properly.
Yeah. That's the
it's
difference.
simple. Like you are a professional. Like you should hire. My man got Reid Fitness. Hire Dexter.
To
be your personal trainer, man, and you won't pull as many hamstrings, because a lot of that has to do with proper hydration, man. If you ain't hydrating properly, you can't drink like we drink on the BetMoorSports podcast, and then want to go out there and play a game of 60-minute football. Man.
But they do it though.
Yeah, that's why they pulling hamstrings.
that's man, that's jacked up. But Dexter bring an advantage when you training these players because number one, he got experience. He don't got any type of experience. He got the experience of a winner.
But you know his slogan?
What's the slogan?
Like train like a champ, a 2-time Super Bowl champ. How many people can use that slogan when they train?
I don't know one.
I retired from personal training when I seen that slogan. I was personal trainer too. When I seen that, I said I can't compete with that. Man, the man say train like a 2-time champ, Super Bowl champ.
2 times. 2 times all it take, you know. As Dan Marino.
Dan Marino got a nigga one.
Straight up. I got the Raiders winning. For the fact that Derek Carr gonna force feed Devontae Adams, and I don't feel like Arizona got anybody on their roster that could keep up with Devontae Adams. And I think if they put too much energy into Devontae, nobody's gonna guard him one-on-one, which means you got to take something away.
Right.
And in the event that they try to take something away, it's gonna open up something else. You know what I'm saying? It's going to open up Josh Jacobs. It's going to open up Darren Waller.
Yeah, but he not looking at them people, so they're going to be just open running.
Well, right. It's going to force him to look at these people because he going to look and he going to see 2-3 people in the direction of Adams, which if he's still force feeding like Aaron Rodgers did, I guess he might as well watch all the Aaron Rodgers tape and say, yeah, it was 3 people there, but he still threw it and you still caught it, so I'm going to still throw it. Like, it don't matter if it's 3 people there. I'm going to take that chance because if it's 50-50, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win it.
Right.
So it's a tough position to be in if you Hunter Renfrow and
Renfrow.
Darren Waller because, bruh.
Darren Waller going to eventually get his because he's at a position where he's just a matchup nightmare.
You want to know what I think would be a great trade?
Darren Waller.
No.
To the San Francisco 49ers.
No chance.
Devontae Adams to the 49ers.
No. Hunter Renfrow to the Bucks.
Oh, yeah. Tom Brady need those type of receivers. He make them type of receivers famous.
That'll be a good move for them.
Yeah. That would be a good move. A great move. Hunter probably on the phone with his agent right now,
Right now.
Like, get me out of
watching
here.
the show, saying, "Hey man, did you hear what Avery said? Get me to Tampa Bay because this man tripping."
All right, so the last game on Sunday is Chicago and Green Bay. Guru, how do you think Aaron Rodgers gonna fare in this game against Chicago?
I think Aaron Rodgers own part of the Bears franchise.
He damn sure said it doing the discount double check. he damn sure said it. But you think that Green Bay got enough?
Man, the man done beat these people 21 out the last 24 times.
Oh my gosh. Well, he is Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
It's just like when you see the jersey and you see the Packers, you just like, damn, we're gonna lose. Man beat you 21 out of 24 times.
it's weird. Do people really got that mentality? That's
You want the truthful answer? You want it from the league perspective, collegiate perspective, or what?
I want it from the athlete's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Everybody don't have the mentality of a champion. Everybody's not a champion.
hey, if it's one thing that we know, you do.
Nah, but I ain't even trying to like carry it like that. And what I try to instill in my young athletes, like it's a mentality. Like, nah, you a champion every day. Like how you carry and conduct yourself. Like everybody not like that. I done been on teams and seen guys that were content with being on the practice team.
Yeah, that's
So that's a problem to me.
Right.
Like, yeah, I understand you getting the check every week, 6-7 bands to be on the practice squad, but you okay with it telling your family you on the
Right,
practice
yeah.
squad? Like, you don't have no pride. Like, so I have seen it. Like, everybody don't have a champion mentality.
I think that's the difference. But I think the people that don't, they're not brought up with that mentality. A lot of times, the champion mentality comes from the way that you was brought up.
Right.
You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
And I was going to say that you don't just have a champion mentality. You got a Norfolk mentality. So that's a whole different mentality in
already.
itself because we ain't riding no bench. I ain't cool with none of that.
Listen, if there's one thing Norfolk gonna do, Norfolk is gonna bring out everything.
Yeah,
Everything,
like
yeah.
when it comes to a competitive, because we always we kind of feel like we got a chip on our shoulder anyway,
Mhm.
because we don't get the recognition that we feel like we deserve.
100%.
Because if you just look at the world of sports, right, as a whole, it's no sport professionally that somebody from the 757 ain't stamped themselves in. Yet and still, you still hear everywhere else but Virginia.
Right.
And then when you hear Virginia, they don't do like they supposed to. They supposed to separate us because
Right. It's separated.
you know what I mean? You starting to hear Tidewater name more and more now because of the athletes they produce. But if you go to some of these other places, you're going to hear Texas. You're going to hear California in every conversation. You're going to hear Florida. You know, everybody know Florida is known for the speed. But we kind of got a mixture of both.
Right. We
got a combination of speed, size, strength, everything.
Better believe it. Better believe it. That's one thing about VA. I love it. I love it. Everything is well rounded. I think that's the overall thought process when it comes down to recruiting.
Right.
You know, you're looking for well-rounded players in Virginia versus looking for something specific. Because I don't think we train for something specific. I think we train for everything. If you're a running back, you're going to be every type of running back you can be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to just be a power back or a speed back. No, you're going to be, I'm trying to be a power speed back, some shit that ain't never been made up before. But you know what I'm saying? No matter what, we focus on the athleticism, and I think we know how to capitalize on it.
Right.
So, with that said, I got Green Bay winning.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay going to win convincingly. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have one of those games that if you are If you have him on your fantasy team, you might want to start him. I think.
Well, I got him on my bench after that 3-point performance. You got to win my trust.
You want to give him away?
Jody
Who
Watt.
you got?
Which league?
We in the Fuller League. It's the Fuller League. Cause you know me, bro. I'll pull the trigger on you quick when you give me one performance. Man calls me a game, man, and I'm talking about I lost to a bum.
Well, I need a quarterback, so I'm
You might
gonna get with you on that shortly.
You might get him, man, because that man gave me 2 points, and there's no way in the hell Aaron Rodgers did that to me.
And so the last game of week 2 is Tennessee and Buffalo. Tennessee took a tough loss to the Giants last week. It was not the easiest thing to watch.
It was pretty for me to watch.
I can say with a straight face and in all honesty, I love to see Saquon run successfully. Number one, his running style is pertinent. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different, and I can see young kids looking at the way he run and trying to kind of emulate it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he runs in a way where he looked like he is running on a track, in a track event, and once he's open, you ain't going to touch him. You literally got to be in front of him to slow him down. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Saquon went crazy, but Derrick Henry did nothing. He had 82 yards, but nothing. You know?
I'm going to say this about Derrick Henry, right? I love Derrick Henry, right, from the perspective that he got all the accolades and accomplishments, like 2,000 yards in high school, over 2,000 yards in college, over 2,000 yards in the pros. He's the only one who can say that he's ran for 2,000 plus yards in a single season on every level, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he don't run behind his pads enough. Like,
you don't have to when you
260. Right, but to me that's
right.
an easy
I
lick.
feel you. Right.
It's weird because imagine if he did.
If he did, he'd be the scariest back in NFL history. But he run high.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
He don't run hard to me.
He don't run hard because he don't get behind his pads. Like, you just running because I'm busy.
Big.
I'm
way bigger
physically
than
bigger than everybody, so I expect everybody to get out my way. But you see Crowder lift him up off his feet.
Yeah, right.
I'm
That
talking
wasn't
about
Crowder.
slid him. It was.
No, that was Derwin James.
No.
Nope, that's the wrong person. That's Travis Kelce. My bad.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Travis
You right.
Kelce body slammed him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derwin James body slammed no Florida State guy. But the linebacker for the Giants, man, got up on the Derrick Henry pads and lifted him. You didn't see that hit?
Too high.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, I did. I missed that one completely.
I'm talking about, and it was textbook. Right leg, right shoulder,
Right.
and the man went flying.
Mm.
But he don't. To me, he could be way more
Efficient.
dominant
Right.
if he actually got behind his pads.
Right.
But I don't know. Tennessee kind of is a nemesis to Buffalo, to be honest, because if it's one team that's scared to tackle that boy,
It's
Buffalo.
Tennessee.
it's Buffalo.
Oh.
Buffalo is scared to death
Sorry,
of Derrick Henry. I've
That's-
seen Derrick Henry stiff arm a boy from Buffalo and slap him from the 20-yard line to the 50-yard line.
Well,
They can't even tackle him.
that's when you know you're getting your ass whooped.
And Vrabel kind of draws up a good scheme defensively
he
for
does.
Buffalo. So I don't know. It's a Monday night game, prime time. Where's the Sunday night game? No, that's Monday night.
That's Monday night.
It's
Yep.
one of the Monday night. They got two Monday night games.
Double
yeah.
time.
Yeah, so that's one of the Monday night games. So it's prime time. So you'll have to get that on BetMoorSports.com.
Absolutely. All right, well, look, let's take our final break of the day. And coming up, you better believe it. If you didn't know, now you know. We got the Guru's pick of the day. Bet More Sports.
This episode of the Bet More Sports Podcast is brought to you by Cutlass Janitorial. Cutlass Janitorial. Look them up for all things janitorial, housekeeping, pressure washing, floor techs, commercial cleaning, anything janitorial. Look up cutlassjanitorial.com if you want to join the winning team in janitorial. Today's proud sponsor of the BetMoorSports podcast is none other than Cutlass Janitorial.
And now it's time for the Guru's pick of the day.
The Guru's pick of the day is the Miami Marlins and Washington Nationals under a half a run in the first inning. Miami got Alcantara on the mound, and I don't see any runs being scored in the first inning. So we're going to take that game under a run in the first inning. Take everything you can big, bar, and steal and put it on the Miami Marlins and Washington Nationals under a half a run in the first inning.
And you heard it from the Guru man himself. If you don't know, now you know. And now we at a point in the podcast that I enjoyed. We want to spend some time focusing on my man, Dexter Reid. Dex, tell us about, well, before we come close to any of that, I want to know about your experience in life. Because your life has been different than most of our lives. Am I wrong? In case you don't know.
I mean, a little different, but I ain't gonna say all the way different.
I mean, a little different. How many people can you say has won a Super Bowl in the NFL with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady? Possibly the two greatest quarterbacks to ever live. He played with both of them. What was it like, Dex?
And he went to Carolina. And we had a Carolina legend in here that won a Super Bowl with Joe Montana. So now we done had somebody that won a Super Bowl with Joe Montana. We done had somebody that won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
Oh,
Arguably
man.
Three of the best quarterbacks
Literally.
in NFL history.
I don't understand it. Dex, this is on you. What was it like? Start with the first one.
What if I tell you I ain't look at it like that? Would I be wrong?
No, because you didn't look at it like that. I'm talking about looking back.
Your
Now that
perspective
you're
is
looking
different.
back and you're looking at the greatness of their careers, right? It got to be at the time we competing.
Right.
So we
right,
feel like we
right.
just as good as anybody else on the
Right,
team. So we
right.
don't look at them like it's Tom Brady and
Right,
Peyton Manning.
Right, okay. So
However,
you put it
looking
like that.
back, you
Right.
looking at it like these
Exactly.
are true first ballot Hall of Famers.
True first ballot.
Two of the, winningest quarterbacks in NFL history, man. Two of the greatest minds from that position in NFL history. And you was in the locker room with them. You was in the meeting rooms with them. You was on the team with them. And I know at the time, you coming out of North Carolina, you the all-time leading tackler in North Carolina history. So you feel like, man, shit, I'm him too.
Right.
And
You know what I mean?
Listen. I think I might have graduated the year you graduated. I graduated in 99,
Man.
right? But it's different for me, right? Because I don't come across this on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not every day I see somebody who got Super Bowl rings or who has played with people I've watched on television with no problem. And I know it's people at home that kind of endure that same perspective. And what is better than to find out from the horse himself? Damn.
I'm regular, man. Like, for real. I'm real regular. Everybody think I'm special or something different. I'm from Norfolk, man. I'm from the Tidewater that produced, I think, arguably some of the best athletes in all sports. And I always just told myself, everybody look at it like you had a dream to get to the league. Honestly, I just wanted to play college ball. You want to keep it all the way funky.
How many people do you know that played ball with you that wanted to get to where you got to? And then tell me, who do you know that played ball with you in high school, college, that has accomplished what you've accomplished? If the answer is nobody, just say it.
But see, this all you really gonna get out of Dex, because That's one thing I will say. He ain't never changed. He been the same way. And he called me. He say, "Bro, I don't do this shit, man. Like I'm gonna do it just 'cause it's you. I don't even do this. Ain't even something I do. So I want to definitely say I appreciate that.
Humble
But
is humble.
The
100%.
people, I don't know about the humble part. Now the man got a little, man got a little arrogance to him too. Now cause I got it. He from Norfolk, but that's just his persona, his demeanor
Right.
is that he a little laid back when it comes to certain things. You know what I mean? He don't want the spotlight. He want everything that come with the spotlight.
Right.
He want the trophies
Uh-huh.
and the money and the Super Bowl rings.
They
And
just don't want to answer the
Right.
questions.
Because every time I tell him, I say, man, you the all-time leading tackler in North Carolina history. Like, that's a hell of an accomplishment
Wait,
to know that you
wait.
went to.
Wait, Guru, you mean to tell me we had 2 all-times?
In North Carolina history, we had the
You
all-time
should
leading
live with
rusher
that.
and the all-time leading tackler. And, I'm talking about a defense that, where people like Julius Peppers played and things
Uh-huh.
like
That
that.
record still stands too.
Yeah, it still stand.
Lead
I
tackle.
know. I know it still stand.
Nah, man. It's a blessing to play with both of them quarterbacks. Like, I feel like they always say try to surround yourself with people that actually try to think like you. I blame my demographics and how I grew up competitively wise to. I grew up 6, 7, 8, 9 years old looking at older athletes like they the shit for real. Like, and I heard that was just going to high school games, whether it's basketball, football, whatever, like, and seeing packed houses and seeing guys coming down and saying what they gonna do and go do it. And like, so my whole thing was, if you even can compete in the tide water, you could compete anywhere. So that was my whole goal was, if you can, let's go be in the top of your city first. Let's start with Norfolk, like being the top tier of the athletes in Norfolk and whatever the sports is. So then after as you get there, try to now, like, you got to branch out. It's 7 cities in the Tidewater. So now how you starting to stack up against the other athletes that's supposed to be the shit in their city. And so if that's playing them head to head, running against them head to head. So I think that the competitive nature from when I was young, and I think doing the AAU and going around and seeing the other talent at your same age at 9, 10, 11 years old and going to different football camps, different basketball camps, and I didn't care how many kids was there. I wanted to be the best kid there. Why? One, I'm from Norfolk, so I felt like I'm representing Norfolk. So like when people ask, "Where you?" I don't even say Virginia. Where you from? Norfolk. Like the cat
Exactly.
seen me in the store yesterday. He said, "Man," he was coming out with a Philly sweatshirt on. He said, "You got to head on with all the team. You don't have no team. I'm from Norfolk. We don't have no team." He said, "Oh, all right." He said, "No, y'all got a Redskin." That's DC. I've been all through DC. I fucks with DC, but I'm from Norfolk, Southeast Virginia, so it's a difference. So I felt like if you could compete any type of way with the top tier athletes that's coming out, we ain't even got to start talking about like an organized on that high school, on that middle school level, like just going from neighborhood to neighborhood. Like you gonna find some guys that didn't even like play the high school level.
Right.
That's the shit that will humble your ass. So when I tell people, like, my area did all that, and with my mom and my brother, my sister, like my area of growing up competing against that every day, I ain't feel no way when I went to a Penn State camp or I went to a camp down in Florida, going to a camp in Texas. I ain't care because I'm from Norfolk. So
You
I
was
looked
built
at it
for
from,
that
I
shit.
make a compete against Tidewater athletes, the fastest, the quickest, the strongest. I don't, and I felt like if you in that top tier, like once again, you can go compete with all of that. So once again, it was a blessing to play with both of them quarterbacks. I didn't pick both of them quarterbacks off in practice. They first ballot Hall of Famers. I probably a diehard Montana fan myself, but both of them, they winners. You know what I mean? So and they whole mentality, when you get around people and just see their preparation and dedication of being excellent, and you see that, okay, somebody saying intangibles that this person might have, that even though he's a quarterback and I'm a defensive back, we trying to be great. And you always like, I was playing with guys in New England that been in the league 15 years. I'm like, yo, I played with you on Tecmo Bowl. So like some of that stuff was so crazy. Me and my man Gus, who got drafted, was a say the third rounder from Florida. Some of that stuff was crazy to me to the point like I'm on a team playing with when I used to be bit video games with guys like now you here now like.
We was playing with you too.
So that was my whole thing and just competing. And so what people don't understand about the league, it ain't even about getting to the actual game. You gotta, because every day in practice is like a game. So number one, you gotta gain the respect of the older guys. Like, so when it's 7-on-7, 9-on-7, team run, goal line, whatever, you first have to, when them old heads start coming in for OTAs, you got to gain the respect of them old heads. And once you start gaining the respect of them old heads, then the coaches start to actually give you your respect. So it took some old heads coming to me like, yo, you could play on this level. Like, you just need to watch your attitude, watch your tone, because I ain't give a fuck. I was like at 22, 23, and once I got to that level that I knew I could play on that level, like, cause like I said, my whole goal was to play college ball. So once I got to college, I was going through some things, a whole bunch of things going on. We ended up having a coaching change. And that probably was a blessing in disguise. I think one of the best coaches I ever had, Coach Tenuta, Ohio State defensive back coach. He came in for 1 year, and he just changed my perspective. I guess he seen something in me I ain't see. Like, my whole goal was to play college. And once I got to college, I said, shit, I actually could compete on this motherfucking level. So it was like, let's try to dominate this shit. That Tenuta came in, and he was like, you want to play on Sundays? I met with him the first time. I wasn't thinking all that. It's my red shirt sophomore year. I'm probably, 19, 20 years old. Everybody I coached played on Sunday. This is what he said to me. Damn, that's what's up. So, you know, me being me, you just can't tell me something. I got to go look you up now. Okay, goddamn, okay, he coached Springs and all these niggas. Okay, shit, Cracker White. You don't have to edit that. He might know what he's talking about. So it took me stop acting like a knucklehead and just buying in and start doing. I was already big preparation, but just understanding film and understanding your opponent and understanding your weaknesses and understand what teams trying to do to you, and understand different situations of football, understand low red, high red, understand P and 10, understand if you're dealing with a team like take a shot coming off of a turnover, understand all the different elements of the game, and then he put me in position and go make plays. So like I ain't get coached no more after him until I got to Sundays. That's a problem. Like right. So I've been blessed and fortunate to have some great coaches all the way from the recreational level to the high school level to the college level. I like to be coached hard. Like, don't baby me. I ain't never been baby. I ain't never kissed no coach ass. Like, if I do something wrong, correct me. Like, don't. Right. Yeah, I don't care how you correct it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done been around guys. I done seen 350-pound guys boohooing and crying because Bill might cut somebody out. Like that thing was crazy to me. Like, to see grown man be breaking down because a coach is basically coaching you hard.
Doing his job.
Doing his job, right. You obviously did something wrong. He wouldn't be saying something to you, right? But he's saying something to you because he obviously care about his job and care about your performance, right? So but some guys can't take constructive criticism or never been critiqued
enough to understand it.
Right.
And it's even worse in this day and age.
Because
a lot of these young athletes you can't even yell at them the way we was yelled at growing up.
And see, me, honestly, that you hit on that, man, listen, that's why I don't coach. I don't. Like, I felt like some of my best relationships that I had in football was from the strength and conditioning standpoint. So I feel like I am a coach. And I feel like majority of these athletes that have inspiration and goals of playing on that next level after high school need to understand majority of the time you're going to be with your strength and conditioning coach if you're not with your positional coach. Because the smart one's going to be with a positional coach, getting that film breakdown, understanding and where you need to be at, boom, 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 if you're trying to really, really go make some plays. Because it's about alignment, assignment, production, period. Don't talk to me about your height, your weight, your 40. how many reps you did on the 225. Show me your production when it comes game day. So, like, your time will be spent trying to get stronger, faster, bigger, critiquing, more explosive, plyometrics, all that stuff with your actual strength and conditioning coach. And I feel like I touch my athletes different because I ain't about to baby these athletes. I seen my man Prime posted something the other day like, we ain't raising dogs no more. We raising cats. I'm not about to baby you. So what I explain to these potential parents that or guardians that come to me and bring their child to me, this is not easy. I'm not about to baby your child. Nah, I know what I bring to the strength and conditioning is A1, second to none. But I also want to bring different elements far as I have played on that college level. I have played on that professional level. Like I'm gonna talk to them about when they struggling in a class, they need to go sit down and talk to that professor once or twice a week, and just so they can get familiar with seeing your face and don't wear your whatever football shirt, whatever sport you playing in there when you go to talk to them. So I think it's just different intangibles that I bring to my actual athletes. Do I try to instill my actual attitudes in my athletes? No. But I feel like the game is supposed to be whatever the game is, because I actually train all sports. Whatever your sport is supposed to be carried and respected a certain way. So which means your preparation needs to be a certain way. Like, it got to a point where I ain't get butterflies no more after like my first game in college. Cause if you prepare to the point that you're ready for whatever your opponent can throw at you, you prepare to the point that you didn't eliminate every weakness that you could have had going into the actual war. I look at it as war. I know my guys, all my veterans out there, they don't like it. Why y'all call it war? It's war out there. It's live bullets when it comes Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Monday night, whatever night we playing on. It's real live bullets out there. So I always felt like you got quick guys, you got fast guys, you got strong guys, you got smart guys. What's your work ethic like? With that one thing you can control. And I felt like I always looked at when I was real young, I could control that I can outwork any and everybody when it comes to this craft. So that was always my whole thing when I prepare for just any sport, that I'm going to outwork you. You might be faster than me. You might be a little bit stronger than me. You might be held quicker than me. But my whole preparation and getting ready for war was second to none to what you did to get ready for war.
Well, I'm going to say this. I haven't seen too many people quicker and faster than you, especially growing up. So if they was quicker and faster, then they was doing something, because I ain't seen too many people quicker and faster than Dexter Reid growing up.
You played at Grammy, right?
Played at Grammy.
Yeah, so you went from Grammy to North Carolina to New England?
Drafted by New England.
Won the Super Bowl. And then the rest is
New England.
Is definitely history.
By the Colts.
Damn. So you was dealt a dime hand if we was playing spades.
Would you say that? In college, I felt like I played with 30 guys that played at least 2 years in the league, and I went to one bowl. On the flip side.
Okay. I mean, that's the thought process. You know what I'm saying? I think the biggest thing is all 30 of those guys, I guarantee they wish they had the rings you had. 100%. You accomplished it ain't even more so about the rings. It's about who you got them with.
Who I got them with.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that is substantial. Had you got a ring with Trent Differ, you know,
he would have still got it with Ray Lewis.
I mean, he can say that out loud.
Ed Reed.
He can say that out loud too. But what makes a bigger difference? You getting the ring with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, or you getting the ring with Peyton Manning or Tom Brady?
Yes,
he gonna probably say
I'm a fan of Ed Reed.
Right, he gonna probably say Ed Reed and Ray Lewis because he's a defensive guy.
Right, I
because if I'm on the defense with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, I already know that. You know what I mean? We supposed to win a ring.
That is fun. Let me ask you this, and this is kind of for the young athletes that's out there that is kind of going through the journey the way you went through. What got you over the hump? Like, what separated you from your teammates? You know, you had 30 other guys on your team in Carolina that played however they played, right? but you're the only one from that team that I can see is considered successful.
No, Pep played like 15, 16 years. He
Yeah,
had a
Pep
Super
was on,
Bowl
yeah.
appearance. It's some guys that
What do Peppers got? Do you got more shit than Peppers?
Y'all actually played each other in Super Bowl, didn't you?
that was my last year. I was my last year.
I thought he was on that Bears team.
No.
No, he was in Carolina still.
He was
then.
in Carolina.
Okay,
He was still in
okay.
Carolina.
Okay.
What's crazy? I can tell you a story. I almost was on that Bears team.
Oh yeah.
No, wow.
I got cut the first week, my third year with the Colts, and I was basically for 2 weeks. I was basically a free agent. So within them 2 weeks, I went on 3 job interviews in the league. Job interviews, basically a workout. So I done flew out to Atlanta, crushed that workout. They was loving me. They were like, "We gonna sign you probably soon. When we get somebody hurt." I flew out to Chicago, crushed that workout. Like they was ready to start me at safety that week. Man, I'm gonna tell you how cutthroat the league is, and cats don't understand. I said, man, it's the streets. These white people just wear suits, man. So for them workouts, the actual team, organization, franchise, however you want to talk about them, they're responsible for basically the transportation of flying the athletes wherever they're going to. All right, put them up in a hotel for basically a day. They come in the next day, limo come pick them up, all that. Take them to the actual facility. You're going to do your physical, woo-da-woo, see the doctor, boom, boom. And then they're going to take you out. Most of the time, it's your positional coach that's going to work you out, train you for like an hour. So, boom. Once I do all that, I crushed the Chicago workout. Like, and I seen the DB coach was trying to, like, throw extra stuff and everything. It was like me and, like, 4 other DBs out there. None of them in shape. I was like, what the hell y'all been doing? I don't know what they been doing. You know what I mean? So I don't worry about other people. I crush it, whatever. So within 15 minutes of the workout, my agent called me. I'm in the limo going back to the hotel. He was like, you got a problem. And I was like, what you talking about? Well, Chicago loves you. And they want to sign you right now. But Indy just called me back and said they ready to sign you back. So what you want to do? I said, oh, man, let me talk to the man upstairs. I'm going to call you back.
Let me talk to the man upstairs. Who better?
I took about 2-3 hours. I had just bought a house. I don't know if I should have let that dictate my actual decision a little bit. I just bought a house in Indiana. Called him back. Called my agent back like, man, I'm going to go back to Indy. I ain't going to go to Chicago. This is my third year. So, you know, Chicago ended up in we played Chicago in that Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So he called him, woo-da-woo. The defensive coordinator, because they was like, Atlanta and them was looking at me like, yeah, we're going to put you as a backup at safety, but we love you starting on all our teams. I had met with the defensive coordinator with Chicago and the defensive back coach. Defensive back coach worked me out. They said he want to go back to the coach. He said just 2 weeks ago they ain't want you. Now you want to go back to him? Now how about I tell you they ain't even get me back to Indianapolis. I know it ain't but 2 hours. Chicago is in the Midwest right there. The Chi to Indy that time is 2 hours. It was a flight, like a 30-minute flight. You know, he was like, you tell Indy come get you. And Chicago ain't even get me back.
Mm.
That's crazy.
Coach said the level out there, come get me. Yeah, that's a real story. Yeah, I'm telling you, I ain't fabricating that near sentence in there.
So Chicago just left you hanging?
Did you not
That
hear what I
The
just
people
said,
say,
bro?
man, you didn't want. The people want you to start. You want to go back to end it. They felt like they had a Super Bowl contender team. You might have been the missing piece, and you.
Cause they
So
say they
it's the
just got hurt.
cutthroat,
Right. What's my man name? I can't. It was a big time safety. He had just got hurt. Season injury.
Peanut Tim was on that team at the time.
Tim was on the team. He was on the team. Yep.
So is the reason that you went back to Indy was because you bought a house or?
I'm gonna just say that played a role in my decisions.
Right. So
I looked at pros, cons all over, and that was one of the things that
it was the
kind of-
simplification of things where had you not stayed, you would have had to do a bunch
Okay,
of work.
right.
Literally sell your house and find a different avenue to get done what needs to get done. So I get it, but either way, was that the year you won the Super Bowl?
Second
Yeah.
ring. Oh, the second ring.
The second ring.
It worked out.
Wait,
Right.
did you hear? Listen, that's the best decision you ever made in
Right.
your life.
You
Then.
know what I'm
If you
saying?
really
The
think
second
about
one.
it.
But we don't know. We only know what we know, but he could have went to Chicago and won a Super Bowl with Chicago because they was in the Super Bowl, which is
Right.
crazy that both teams that wanted you ended up in the
Right,
Super
yeah,
Bowl
playing each other. And, but you ended up on the team that won. So I mean, when you really think about it, it was win-win for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it would have impacted you long term. You know what I'm saying? Where you might have went to Chicago and went crazy, and then they offered you $60 million. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But just to have the authorization to say I had this experience, I think that is the difference maker, especially in the world of sports when you got people like the Guru who played football all his life up until you end up getting locked up, and then you had to come home and deal with the fact that I've been this good at football and I haven't had a chance to do much with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? While you, on the other hand, you've been that good in football, and I followed you throughout, and you accomplished what nobody else in Norfolk has
So what if
accomplished.
I tell you, like, that story you give right there, the Guru, I'm the type of
That could have been
athlete-
you?
Nah, athlete out of Tidewater that feel like I play for that. I play for every type of athlete or every type of person out of the Tidewater. So when you say he wasn't able to accomplish more than what he accomplished because he had to go sit down for a little bit, I feel like I play for that too, though. You see what I'm saying? So everybody be like, what fuel you to be great like that? I don't know. I use so many fuel factors to be great, and that's one of them. Like to keep it all the way funky with you, like stuff like that. Like it's people that weren't fortunate enough that I know. Like I could, after you get to playing on that level, the college level, the league level, I done played and seen so many athletes on the high school, on the middle school, red level that, like, this college, how you even get here? You was on
Right.
what you was saying? Like, and so
That's crazy.
that's one of my factors when we might be conditioned, we might be in the weight room, you feel like you damn dead tired. Like, no, man, I know some guys that, man, like, y'all couldn't even.
You couldn't
and I
shine
can
their
go
shoes.
now, right? Like, you see what I'm saying? So I use stuff like that to fuel me when I was still in that athlete mode.
That's man. Listen, that is that go a long way when you really like going through life and the processes of life. You know what I'm saying? Because like again, it's not too many people that I can name, that I could have a conversation with, that I can talk to, that could say that they've had the amount of real life NFL experience that you've had. You know what I'm saying? Again, I had this conversation with the Guru a couple of times where, we talked about your success in the NFL. Because don't get me wrong, it's plenty of people that went. And there's plenty of people that could have went. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody has been successful. And I think that's the difference maker. Success is measured based upon how you win as an athlete. Don't get me wrong. From a personal perspective, I'm pretty sure the athlete defines success based on how much they're getting paid.
Right.
But from a fan perspective, your success is determined on your ability to win. And you have demonstrated the ability to win overall, period. Because you got 2 Super Bowls with 2 of the GOATs in the game.
And he the all-time leading tackler at North Carolina.
And he the all-time leading tackler at North Carolina, which, North Carolina hasn't been a powerhouse. So, and that was even with Julius Peppers and Ronald Curry.
But you got to think, man, the all-time leading tackler. And Lawrence Taylor went to North Carolina. Julius Peppers went to North Carolina.
And I know Lawrence Taylor did coke while he was at North Carolina. So, if you put up more tackles than the nigga that was doing coke,
You know Lawrence Taylor's going to one day appear on this podcast. I'm going to make you say that in his face.
And I am. He old as fuck. We could go. It could be the hands. It could be the hands. But no. Listen, man. No matter what, I think it's a difference because when people in your position, you got something to bring to the table, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? You got kids that aspire to get close to where you were. You know what I'm saying? To get an inch to where you were. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, how many people do you know can say they've accomplished what you've accomplished? How many people can you say, Guru, outside of him, accomplished what he accomplished? You know what I'm saying?
Not many.
And I think that's the difference maker. In your experience. Because in order to accomplish that, you got to have an experience, which means right now you are a trainer, right?
I am.
And you work people out. And who better to know what it takes, especially from a football perspective. Now, I'm pretty sure your training is not limited to football.
No, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
All sports.
But if you got a player that play football, I believe it'll be, I don't want to use the term easier, but it'll be more beneficial for athletes that are playing sports that you played to come through your training, because if anybody know what it takes, you would. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what, it's appreciative, man. Listen, I didn't play football, but I can tell you this much: I follow football like I played it, and you would have never known it from. I follow football from the time as a kid. You know what I'm saying? All the way through. I watched you playing at Granby. I followed my cousin. He played at Booker T. I followed Ronier. I actually had Ronier graduate at Lake Teller.
Animal.
It was so many different athletes that it's a difference maker when they make it to the promised land. And the promised land is the NFL overall, right? That's not even like beyond anything else.
Right.
But when you make it to the promised land and the Super Bowl twice with two of the GOATs, like, again, that is substantial. 1,000%. It's hard enough to make a team, let alone get to the Super Bowl twice. Your experience is through the roof. How many people in Norfolk got your experience? And we can mention Hall of Famers along with Bruce Smith, Lawrence Taylor, all of them. How many of them got your experience?
Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor been to 2 Super Bowls?
He won 2.
I think he won.
Yeah, he won 2.
I thought he won 1.
MVP of one.
Okay.
He won 2.
90-91 or 91-92.
No,
Well,
he won.
he's a product of Carolina.
91.
Yeah, he a product of Carolina, so
But he won
it's
2.
easily deserved.
You know, one year he was the defensive player of the year,
The MVP and
the
all that.
MVP and all that, and he was the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, that's
He won everything.
young.
That's when his coke levels was at its highest.
But it's not many, especially coming from where we come from. And it's crazy that Dex said what he said, because at the time he got drafted, you know, my mom, she used to come see me because the draft always falls around my birthday. So she came to see me, and she used to cry every time the draft get on, because she'd be like, baby, that's supposed to be you, and, you know, you played with Dex and you played against Dex, and, you know, I was number 33 on the Packers before Dexter was 33 on the Packers. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that. But the same way he felt like he played for people like me, I vicariously lived through people like him, because I was rooting for him his whole career. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I was proud of my man to see him go from, you know, double reverse deck. You know, that's all they used to do with my man. Get a man double reverse
already. You know what time
out there at
it is?
Lakewood,
6.
and that's 6. You know what I mean? Get that double reverse, it's touchdown. But I watched him go from getting double reverses to quarterback and to playing safety and to the NFL, and, you know, the success that he had. And I kind of vicariously lived through the guys like him, the guys like James Boyd, James Whitley, you know, Cam Chancellor, a few other dudes that made it from the city that played in that era
Mm-hmm.
that we played, Plexico, Barris, guys of that nature, and was successful. I felt like if they made it, we all made it.
Right.
Because that's
Right.
just how it is in Tidewater. You know what I mean? Like, we kind of play for each other. We kind of do everything for each other.
Right.
That's my man. You know what I mean? Like, that was cool that you said that, though, Dex. That you said that in that way. But
Listen, no matter what, bro, it's appreciated. Let me ask you this: what was your experience like at Carolina? Because I know the NFL is the NFL, but college is a whole nother beast. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
Because you coming straight from high school, you out on your own for the first time. You're pretty much a teenager.
Yeah.
But you coming into a situation where everybody know you're a star already. You know what I'm saying? You coming through the door with the expectation of being great.
College is different, man. I mean, especially like just in terms of college to the league, your different expectations. 'Cause, I mean, you got to factor in that school element, that element of school, the element you're away from your family, the element you're basically on the team with 100, 115 guys where everybody probably was the shit from where they from. All right. Like I played with a guy we call Rabbit. He ran 4-1 in the 40 out of Richmond County, North Carolina. He also played in the league 4-5 years.
4-1. God damn.
So it just like the talent level is different, and just getting to college. And what I tell people that how I explain high school to college to the league, far as just the football element of it. Like everybody understand guns. I'd be like high school, it might be a 9, a 45, and a 38 out there.
Mm-hmm.
College is about 2 choppers, 1 shotgun, a 9, 2 40s out there. The league is liable to be 10 choppers out there, 10 ARs, 2 shotguns, like to the point that them bullets is
coming a little quicker.
It coming quicker. It ain't to the point that they're coming quicker because what I did see that my quickness and speed matched up from high school to college to the league.
Right. But the game still speeds up.
It don't speed up though. It's the room for error.
Right.
Is cut down. So now that game being played for the neck up is the room for like open in college and open in the league is different.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's totally different. Like so that element of right there is your room for mistakes is minimized going from high school. Right. I say that. So it's not so everybody think the game is quicker or the game has slowed down to you. The game is faster. It's like no, you have less room for mistakes, for fucking up. So like,
Right.
don't get caught trying to disguise and you supposed to be 12-2, and you might got somebody like Tyreek Hill over there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he even he leaving, so like stuff like that, and you get caught down there trying to show him that you blitz and 7-8 yards, you get caught and you can't get back there cover 2, and you end up looking stupid and you done. That's what's happening on that. So like, it's the room for making mistakes where you can get caught in high school and still get back there. Yeah, you can be late about 2-3 steps in college and. Yeah, you might have got a minus on that grade sheet for that particular play for your alignment, but you still made some production because you was able to knock the ball down. But stuff like that, I never forget one of the first plays when the old heads came in. We was in cover 2. Gus, the 3rd rounder out of Florida, he was the other safety. We in cover 2.
This was which
This was
team?
New England.
Okay.
We in New England. So it's early OTAs. And like people understand the league, it's probably 5,000 people out there at practice. So I think Gus had got a corner post on his side. It might have been because they was in 2x2. I don't know if it was Deuce or it was a tight end. I remember D. Graham and Branch being on that side, and I might have had 2 true receivers on my side. Anyway, long story short, we basically got beat down the middle by Tom. And he completed that. So Bill came up. If y'all two assholes don't get y'all ass back there deep as the person and make a damn play on the ball, we looked at each other and started laughing. Because, I mean, the coaching, we basically was wrong. It was cover 2, and he basically put that bitch. We still was right there, but he still completed that bitch for like 40 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it was like Bill saying something, we rookies, and the old heads out there. It ain't do nothing to me because I still felt like and knew that, yeah, I can still do this. I already knew what I did wrong on that particular play. I got caught. You can't get caught. You get caught 1 or 2 yards, especially with somebody like Tom, you liable. You just going to make a tackle. You're not going to make a play on the ball.
Right.
So, like that whole getting cussed out by Bill, like, I love hard coaches, so that ain't even affect me. And I'd rather you coach me hard.
Right. I got a quick question for you. What was the difference between playing with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning?
Everybody asks that. The difference is what I tell people. And if you understand style of play, I just tell you, go back to one situational football and look at Tom Brady, and go back to one situational football and look at Peyton Manning. Both of them are great quarterbacks, great from the neck up, great with understanding defenses. The difference between the two quarterbacks, Tom Brady, 2-minute drill, whether it's the second quarter, the fourth quarter, or a 4-minute drill, he will nickel and dime you all the way down the field. 5-yard here, 10-yard here, 4-yard here, hit the bat, let him go make a couple of plays. Well, on the other hand, Peyton, Marvelous probably running a stutter goal, come back to a goal, they going to get a chunk play. That's the only difference. Everything else, strategically, what they're trying to do to you, their approach to the game, methodically, how they prepare for the game, everything's about the same. It just, one will be a lot more patient, trying to go get that 3 if they need 3, trying to go score if they need to score. The other one going to get it. Period. Quick, fast, and hurt. And if you put on the tape, you'll see what I'm saying.
Right. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you this, right? Because me and Avery had this conversation. I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. The first question is, Julian Edelman, is he a Hall of Famer?
Julian Edelman, Super Bowl
You played with
MVP.
him?
He got 3 Super Bowls.
Hey, man, the man know his resume. Man, the man was on. He's a New England Patriot.
I'm just refreshing.
He don't need you to refresh.
I'm just
what?
refreshing.
Is he a Hall of Fame?
CTE
Did he
is
have
full
a
of fat.
Hall of Fame career?
Julian Edelman.
You really asking me that?
But the man say he's a sure ballot Hall of Famer.
Hey, man, you say you're a fan of the game, man.
That what he said.
Listen,
Roniel say
We
no.
can't just throw people in
A lot,
can. Like,
a lot of
hold on,
people
hold on,
say
hold
a lot
on.
of people that played this game on that level say no, but Avery said he is a Hall of Famer. I say no. I say he may get in.
He's not.
He may get in, but he won't get in first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We won't be around to see him get in. His grandson
to me,
will
he's
probably
not.
go in.
I know his resume.
Right.
To me, he's not. I feel like he was a product of that system and being blessed to play with that quarterback.
well, I think reality is Tom Brady was a product of the system. If you base it off of that, right? My biggest thing in regards to
But
Julian,
Tom won outside the system.
Tom won once outside the system, right?
Mhm.
And by the time Tom won outside the system, Tom was the system.
How many times the system won without Tom?
Tom has become the system. That's the whole point. Tom took that system and took it to Tampa Bay. And the way Tom play now is based on
You
Tom.
see how Dexter looked at you?
Listen, all I'm saying is the reason that I say Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer is because being in the Hall of Fame is primarily based upon your successes, right? And
You
it's
gotta have some stats to go with that success.
absolutely, but he do. Don't get me
From a
wrong.
receiver standpoint,
He don't have to have astronomical stats.
But he don't have no All Pros. He ain't been on the All Pro team. I think he made 1 Pro Bowl. If he made any, he's not a perennial Pro Bowler. He's not an All Pro. He's not none of that. He's a
Right.
Super Bowl MVP.
He's a Super Bowl MVP and a 3-time Super Bowl winner, right?
what I'm
For
saying
which-
to you, nobody feared Julian Edelman when
No.
you say that. So
Right, but
for
is
me,
fear
if you say
the reason
somebody
for Cannon?
you wearing a gold jacket,
That's a
90% of them guys, whether we going back to the 50s with no helmets, or we coming up to Jim Brown era, whether we coming up to the 80s Tecmo Bowl era, most of them guys were putting fear in their opponent when they played.
Even if they weren't putting fear, you had to game plan for them.
Gameplay.
You had to do some extra film sessions.
So
for
y'all don't think that nobody?
No, I don't think nobody lost no sleep over Julian Edelman.
I-
Now, Randy Moss, you might say, "Hey, man, we gotta wait. We gotta go to bed early to check Randy Moss. We got Randy Moss tomorrow."
You want to know something? Because you're right. People fear Randy Moss, right?
You feel like Julian Edelman had a better career than Randy Moss?
Hell no chance. But what I'm saying is, it's not about the person that you fear that determines your success. Because had they feared Julian Edelman, he probably wouldn't have been an MVP in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's not about necessarily whether people fear you or not. It's about the impact you put and what you make on that field. And
Man,
when you
Brady made Edelman, man.
listen. If that's the case, Brady made everybody. If that's the case, Brady made Randy Moss.
He ain't make Randy.
No.
Come on,
Listen,
Avery. Come on.
listen.
Let's get back.
Quarterback still got to get players the
He
ball.
did not make Randy Moss was a made man before he went to New England.
Right, which is perfect time. So then, in that case, Dante Culpepper made Randy Moss. If that's the case, if that is the logic
Randy
in
made
which we are
Culpepper.
using, I mean, that could go that way too. All I'm saying is, it's simply one of those things where quarterbacks got to throw the ball and receivers got to catch it. Quarterback got one job, just like a receiver got one job. Right. And so at the end of the day, if the quarterback doing his job and the receiver doing his job, and they are doing it at a high level, what prevents that receiver that is doing his job at a high level from being the cream of the crop?
To me, he want the cream of the crop like that.
I believe
I
at the
would
time that
mention
he
more
was
people
winning.
like, especially you talking about that slot receiver like Santana Moss, like guys that you didn't want to see as a safety slash DV slash, because in New England you played like 4 different positions. You ain't playing just strong safety, free safety,
Right.
dollar, money, nickel. I played behind Rodney Harrison, which played 5 different positions, because it was like 8 different packages defense you had to know for New England. The last thing you want to be dealing with is a Santana. I got to come down, we in a cover 0. Hey, Julian Edelman, I'm straight. What you talking about? Like, what you mean, man? I don't mean no harm that about Julian Edelman game, but it's a difference in that type of athlete when you start talking about some quicks and some deceptive route running and guys that can shift gears and got a Midas touch. You talking about not Julian Edelman.
I just know that Julian Edelman showed up when they needed him to show up.
Congratulations, Julian Edelman. You got some Super Bowls, but you won't get a gold jacket. Now, the next
will
thing, he might. We won't see it.
He also got white
We
privilege.
won't see it. We won't see it. So
in
I
the
want
word of
you to
white-
write.
white-
I
white
want
privilege.
you to write in your will that if we go before Julian Edelman make the Hall of Fame, that you owe me this money that we already bet.
In
I
my
want that put
will.
in your will.
Whoever send it
and
to your kids.
Exactly. Last thing, man, before we go, you out there, personal trainer. If they in the North Carolina area, how do they find you?
How do they find me? I'm on Facebook, Devon Reid. I'm underneath my middle name, DEVONREID. Instagram, I'm underneath Reid Fitness. That's REID Fitness 33. I do not have a Twitter, or you also can contact me by phone. That's 757. Even though I'm in the North Carolina area, I still have 757 area code 553-0569. Any one of those ways, email. My email is the number 2, the letter X, super SUPER, bowl BOWL, champ CHAMP @gmail.com. So any one of those ways, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Did you hear the man email? 2-time Super Bowl champ. Yeah,
Hey.
nothing like it, man.
Hey, we are who we are, right? Hey, I'm not a 2-time
regular.
Super Bowl champ. I'm a 2-time Parks and Recreation. Not everybody can do what you do, Dex, and that's greatly appreciated, man. Listen, you've been a great part of the inspiration of the city, not just of the individuals, but of the city overall. And I think that goes a long way, whether you realize it or not. And it's greatly appreciated. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate the city.
Again, I graduated the year you graduated, and so during that time, I knew who you were because you was everywhere, newspaper everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And man, whether you realize it, it's just the fact that you are able to get to that point in your life and your career and be successful at it. It lets these kids out here know that no matter where we come from,
Yeah, you can get there.
we can get there. So keep doing your fitness for sure, because only people that can teach athletes is athletes, in my opinion.
I appreciate it.
And you know, keep telling your story, because if there's one thing about being a kid that's playing football right now, is to know that somebody that's been through what they're going through right now has been able to get to the promised land and make their name known. So with that said, we appreciate you coming out.
I appreciate
sure-
y'all having me, man.
Hey, anytime, definitely. Make sure y'all check out that Guru and the Swami podcast. Visit www.betmoorsports.com for your bets if you need them, for sure. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, all over the place.
Facebook, and we do got a Twitter too.
Oh,
Okay.
we got a
Got a
Twitter
Twitter
and a
too.
Facebook. And join the Facebook group. The Facebook group got them locks. You might want to get on it. That's for sure. And huge shout out to my man Dexter Reid. He came through, showed plenty of love to the BetMoorSports podcast. With that said, we are out of here. Have a great night. Peace.
Till next time.